Welcome back everyone to Dragon Age Origins, Episode 6. Let us continue straight away. Thank you for watching, and let's get right into this.
And I'm off.
You're such a handsome dog. I think that every time I look at you. Lady Cecily, I lived with her after my mother died, had a dog. A small one bred to fit under the arm and in the lap. What did you name it? Oh yes, Bonbon. Oh, Bonbon was a terror. He would hide, you know, when he saw you coming. And then he would attack your ankles. Rather sharp teeth in the ankles. Very painful. He attacked me once. Latched onto my leg. I thought it was a diseased rat and kicked. Bonbon flew across the room and over the banister. He survived. But he never came near me after that.
Okay then. Poor Bonbon. Jeez.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
Thank you, Sten. Glad to have you with us.
May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
Okay, so for this, at the moment, I will replace the dog and instead bring Sten with me.
Yes.
Armor him up, get him ready for battle, conflict, and we'll see how this goes. Alright.
Hello, stranger. I don't suppose you know anyone that can make traps?
I'm quite familiar with traps and the like. Well, Alistair at least.
I would happily pay you to make some. There's wood and nails and other goods around the village and the forest. But you probably already know that. Sorry. Come back if you make some.
This is the start of a beautiful relationship. We're gonna be making a lot of money right now.
He talked to everyone in the tavern. How are we supposed to know where the urn of sacred ashes is? Might as well.
You're here about food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the chantry. I got other gear to sell.
Show me what you've got. Okay, so with this, the main thing we want to do is we want to buy the... Oh yeah, that's his store. The trap triggers. And I mean all of them. As much as we can. 99. 99. Just spend all our money. We've got 9 more gold. So let's just get all of this out of the way. Come on. There we go. How many can I get more? A bit more. That's good. There. Okay, so now I have no money. But now we can go to Alistair and open up his skills, or the menu for him, which this might take me a second. Yes, Lewis. Press every button until you figure it out. Because there's a way for him to make traps, because I gave him the skill to do it. Where is the location for it? here we are. The trap setting. So we just go to spring traps, and we literally just want to keep clicking. So this is going to take a while, and we'll see when I'm done. There we go. We've created all of the traps and just got a bunch of achievements for doing that, which I believe it's 2 achievements. That's good. Now we go back to the lady.
We're supposed to know where the urn of sacred ashes is. Might as well ask us how to get to the moon.
All we have to do now is just talk to this lady right here and see how this goes.
Hello, stranger. I would have, but you probably already know that. Sorry. Come back if you make some.
I have the traps for you.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you, stranger.
So now, I've clearly at the bottom left completed the quest and gotten 50 silver. But the thing is, you can now talk to her, and every time you talk to her, you sell her free traps, which means you can do this again and again and again, unlimited, to get as much money as you possibly can, which is what I'm about to do now, which may take a bit, so I will be back when I've done it all. Now, it's been quite a bit, but if we now look at the inventory, we can clearly see right here, I've got 1,133 sovereigns, 52 silver, and 94 bronze, which means we are filthy rich now. We can basically afford any major items that we come across throughout the adventure, and it'll help overall with supplies. It won't really give us a huge advantage battle-wise, just somewhat of an advantage enough to make things a bit easier for us later on. Now that we've done that, and we've got our nicely forming group, let's take a look around, see what else we can do to help the people out.
We done heard what was said. You're a warden. I don't know if you killed King Kalen, and make her forgive me, I don't care. But that bounty on your head could feed a lot of hungry bellies. Attack! Quickly!
All right. And I'm off. Let's wipe them out quickly. All right.
Alrighty. We've taken out the 3 bandit groups, which means we can go back and collect the bounty award from the Chanter's board.
Let him take notice and shine upon thee, for thou hast done his work this day.
So this is the mother of the boy in the last episode we helped out, the one we gave money. So unfortunately she's passed. We never learned what happened to the father, but I imagine things didn't go well for him either, sadly.
All right.
Yes?
path of righteousness is full of hardship, but the Maker smiles upon its travelers. And the stars stood still, the winds did quiet, and all animals of earth and air held their breath. All was silent in prayer and thanks.
Well, there you go. Awesome. Now that we've done that, before we continue the journey and finally leave the village, let's quickly go by the shops, see if there's any supplies we need, and then get out of here.
Don't suppose you're looking to buy something? Alright, just don't buy everything up.
Someone help us!
And I'm on. Yes.
Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
You're welcome.
The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
I doubt you'd want to travel with a Grey Warden.
Grey Wardens? My, that does rather explain a lot. No offence, but I suspect there's more excitement on your path than my boy and I can handle. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune, though.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Bad dreams, huh?
It seemed so real.
Well, it is real, sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon. Is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Any other surprises I should know about?
Other than dying young and the whole defeat the Blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprises. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
This next section is going to be a bit long. I'm going to talk to everyone in the camp so far. Just sort of go through the conversations and see what everyone is thinking right now.
What do you need? Ask away.
What can a Templar do exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
So, couldn't others learn these talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
That's horrible. I can't believe they would do that.
Well, they do it, and they feel perfectly justified. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective, or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
I suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a blight to stop.
Yes.
What were you doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
That's not what I meant.
It's what you asked.
Just tell me.
I did. Pashera. Was there anything else?
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
What was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
Don't you have to report back then?
Yes.
When are you going to do that?
Never. I cannot go home.
Why not?
It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the dark spawn waiting. As you wish.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Feddick, at your service once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden? I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
You're free to stay. Just mind yourselves.
Wonderful. Thank the gentleman, won't you, boy?
Thank you, sir.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me. You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road.
Let me see your wares, Bodan.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
In future, it might be good to come back and get the spell word. +5 willpower, +8 health regeneration, +30% spell resistance, +10% chance to dodge attacks, and chance to avoid missile attacks. The +30% spell resistance is pretty good because if I check my character record, I'm pretty sure he naturally is magically resistant. Where would that be? Because I know dwarves get magical resistance, but where is the description for that? Because I know it mentions it when you create the character. I'm not sure.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kokari wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can probe me anytime.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring. That sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Touching? Like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Well, I'm glad it worked out this way, at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy. Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader?
I'm Fishka. I've never heard of you.
Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
What promise did Duncan make to you?
My family, well, past a bit checkered, you see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last warden commander of Ferelden back when the wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arland banished the wardens and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
What happened next?
Hard to say. After King Arland died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one, and our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
I'm surprised you kept your name.
Our family's only crime was guarding the kingdom against the blight. We're not ashamed of that.
So what favor did you ask of Duncan?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour.
I've never even heard of Soldier's Peak.
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Ireland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did. Then I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour.
Why didn't Duncan help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new wardens and meeting with good King Kaelin. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance.
Levy, your family's faith will be rewarded. I will help you.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
Yes.
Indeed.
I think we have different options. We can either head to Redcliffe first and see if we can see Al-Eamon, the Lake Calenhad to get the mages, or Zamar, or Frostback Mountain to go back to the dwarves, Brazilian outskirts to get the elves, or we could go to Soldier's Peak and help that guy out first and then do the other stuff. Out of all of them, I think we'll help the guy out first. Just because he came to us, we should help, of course. But, well, it's been quite a bit, so I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey so far, and the conclusion to episode 6. I will see you guys next time for Soldier's Peak. See you later, guys.